Anyway, so video games, the most talked about topic in the self-improvement space. About how to quit them, are they actually good for self-improvement, which they're definitely not. About people that want to quit them, don't know how to, and about people that don't want to quit them and hate people like me who say that you should quit them. Okay, that was a whole mouthful, but let's actually get into the story and how to quit video games. A no BS guide, which is structured by me specifically because there are a lot of people like me that want to quit video games but don't know how to. And my exact method will probably work for you. It helped a lot of other people that I know quit video games, and I will make sure that it helps you on your journey. Because I want you to be your best self in every human endeavor, and I want to help you get through my level and even above my level. I want you to learn from me. So let's start off with my story. Since I was a small kid, I was playing video games. Literally when I was 3 years old, I was introduced to something called Counter-Strike Source, which my dad introduced me to. So I was just playing half an hour a week or so of video games, you know, sometimes just sitting on my dad's lap. He was playing video games. Not too often, he wasn't addicted or anything, just after work, you know, just to rewind, as we thought video games actually did. Which in later studies actually found out that you don't rewind when playing video games, but you actually stress extremely when you're playing video games because your brain is busy with so many different things. But back in the day we didn't know, we just played video games for the fun of it. And it was just normal, you know, especially when you had a job that could contribute to your family. A lot of people, especially dads above 30, played video games. In my generation, so the 18-year-olds and 16-year-olds, video games became normal playing from the age of 10 to, you know, where you are right now. It became very normal. A lot of people got addicted, such as myself back then. And a lot of people didn't actually know why you got addicted. A lot of people think the addiction to video games is only because of the dopamine release it has and only because of the fun they are. But that is not actually true in a lot of ways. I mean, yes, it definitely spikes your dopamine, right? And it definitely messes it up. And it definitely is a lot of fun in the beginning. But the problem is, your dopamine gets messed up so much that you start tripling down into a depression because of the fact that the dopamine is all the way down because you used it all up on the video games and all the other things that you did aside it, like eating the junk food and of course all the other things like masturbation and all those type of things. So it definitely ruined you. But it didn't spike your dopamine as much anymore in the later years. And that is because of the depression we already talked about. Now, I'm a certain believer that depression is not clinical. Depression is in the... You can definitely feel depressed and you can definitely feel like you're depressed, feel bad, but it's not clinical. You can change it and you can drastically change the course of your life when you know how to change the way you feel. Especially as a man, this is very easy to do as long as you switch up certain things in life and actually do the correct things and learn how to win instead of lose in life. So why did I actually start playing video games and how did I get addicted to it? Firstly, I wasn't even that addicted to video games. Yeah, I played some hours, you know, per week. But I didn't play a lot until I moved from my one house to another city. I knew nobody. I had a different accent. In the Netherlands, a lot of people have different accents. Like literally neighbor cities have different accents in the Netherlands. And I went from Rotterdam to Lelystad, where I live right now. And I went to school here. And the instant I got into that classroom, I started getting bullied. And this was in like grade 4. In the Netherlands we have 8 grades before you go to elementary school and then off to high school, college, all those type of things. But I was in primary school of the Netherlands and it has 8 grades. I was a 4th when I was put in there. It was already a way different experience to school than it was in Rotterdam. And I already started noticing the kids didn't like me there. I was different. I was very skinny. I always have a different accent. And I was not very social because school doesn't learn you how to socialize as we already encountered later on in school, right? And I got bullied. It started off pretty normal, you know, so I wasn't really gaming as much. I was playing outside with the kids still. And then the kids stopped playing with me. They started beating me. They started cussing me. They started disliking me, not putting me into the birthday parties. And I was used to that before that, just as a heads up. But that really started to scar me. Along the way, gave me PTSS, and I started gaming as a coping mechanism to not go to school because I was getting bullied. I didn't go to school and I didn't want to play with the kids outside because they would bully me anyway. So I was starting to play games like Overwatch and CSGO. And I started coping to my parents, saying that I don't want to go to school, don't want to do anything. Then I would say I would learn, but instead I would play video games. My parents didn't understand the severity until it was like group 7. And they started seeing me actually getting addicted to video games. And I was so addicted that I would play the whole day until my dad would go on the PC. I had a shared PC, so that I was lucky to have that, by the way. I hated it back then, but I was lucky because I wasn't able to ruin my sleep. I didn't eat as much, I didn't drink as much, so I got even skinnier. I was the most skinny kid you could see. And it was disgusting. You could see all my ribs and it was just very unhealthy. I was in a very bad situation. Now, my parents did try to help me, but the problem was I was a stubborn kid. I didn't let myself be helped. Therapy that I was going to back then didn't help me as much because therapy for most men is a lie. My dad wasn't around as much because he was working all day, which meant I had more to cope about and more stimulation to get more addicted to video games. And that only got worse and worse and worse until I was like 16. And then I took a massive break from video games. Then I went back to it when I was 17 because of friends, which I'm gonna get back into in this video on why some friends you maybe need to let go. And that's one of the hardest parts probably for most people. And what happened is age 17 and a half, which is about a year ago now, is I completely quit video games. I completely quit playing them. I completely quit the friends that I was talking to back. I sometimes, talk to them, catch a little bit up, but I don't play any video games with them anymore. I don't want to, and I don't have the hesitation or something to do it. Which meant I didn't have any stimulations. I was doing way different things. I was on self-improvement, meditation, cold showers, going outside, having the best time of my life. And it is without video games. A lot of people say, yeah, but you don't want fun. Wanna know what's fun? Not playing video games. Why? Because it's delaying instant gratification and I'm actually getting a lot of rewards from it, and I'm actually way happier than I was back then, laughing a little bit in a video game when most of the time I was looking like this. You can literally see on my live streams, I used to live stream my video games when I was 16. You can see my face. Most of the time it isn't even happy. Most of the time it's literally depressed because I was depressed back then. I felt depressed. I didn't know what to do. And I see a lot of self-improvement YouTubers, and this actually makes me mad. This is a little bit of a rant, I don't care. A lot of self-improvement YouTubers say, yeah, you can play 1 hour of video games and literally keep coping, when most of the time it isn't even 1 hour of video games. It's most of the time 3 hours. Because you keep playing. You're ruining your self-improvement. And you're trying to get other people to ruin the self-improvement. Why? Because you want to probably fuck their wife soon. Because you're actually ruining someone else. You're slowing someone else down. Why are you telling someone else to slow down? Those are the type of people that are even worse than people that play video games. Because those are the people that are telling you to slow down in this massive race. So to those people, sorry about the little rant there. So why would you quit video games? That's the biggest question you're probably asking yourself right now. The reason why you actually want to quit video games is because you want to improve in life. You want to be your best self. You want to do the good habits and not the bad habits. And you actually want to be happy. Another reason is because video games are no more fun to you. Because your dopamine receptors are fucked. You don't know how to have fun anymore. Because your dopamine is low. You don't even feel good on places where you're supposed to feel good. When you're playing a video game, you're literally like, what should I play? Because I don't know what to play. Because that's where I've been. I've been at the point that video games weren't even fun anymore. I kept playing different games. Like every 5 minutes I click a different game because I didn't get the dopamine hit anymore. That's how messed up I was. And that's how messed up most of you are. So that's the biggest reason why you should probably quit video games. Because it's literally messing you up. You're decaying in real time. You're leveling up a character that's gonna get better than you in real life when you have endless potential to be better than that character. If you would put your focus, because you basically have a grind set, right, on video games. A lot of people talk about Sigma male grind set in video games. You have the best grind set and you're not using it in real life. No, you're using it on a virtual character that isn't even real, doesn't matter, it's not adding up anything to your life. And I hear a lot of people say, yeah, but there are people making money. Those are the same people that are not making any money on the side. And those are not the type of people that actually comment on my video. The people that make money on video games, they're not commenting on my video coping. Because why would they? They're making money. So that's why you should quit video games. That's the why. You're literally decaying in real time. So now let's actually get into some really good stuff. And that is, what are the actual causes of video game addiction, and how a video game addiction is probably not linked to the cause that you think it is. A lot of people think the video game addiction is caused by the drive towards it, by the dopamine and by the fun. Although it is a little bit of a thing, it's actually way deeper and darker. Most people are addicted to video games because they want the easy way out of a bad life they have. They are not happy where they are right now, so they will play video games because that's what their happy space. That's where they're actually doing something good in their mind. They're doing something productive in their mind. Like, look at the World of Warcraft players. They have so much stuff and they're proud of it as well. Like 8,000 hours in World of Warcraft, all the stuff. They keep grinding for the new stuff to be the baddest and best player in World of Warcraft. When in real life, they're just decaying. They're probably very fat or very skinny. That's the whole scam of video games. Video games are perfected to make you feel masculine, to make you feel productive, because they give you achievements and they make you level up. Just like you would in real life when you're going to the gym, building a business and actually building something around you. Those are the same things, only in real life instead of in video games. You can level up in real life. Look at me. I went from the skinny, non-attractive, very awkward, non-social guy to the guy I am right now, very social. I have an aesthetic physique. I know how to talk on camera. I'm actually building a business right now. I'm not awkward anymore around girls or men. I'm actually speaking to a lot of high value people because of that. That's leveling up in real life. I will reach level 100 way faster than you would reach level 2 when playing video games. That is what I know and think about video games. They're one of the worst stimulations out there, together with TikTok and porn. I will go in those topics in a different video, so if you want that, leave a comment down below. But video games are one of the worst stimulations, and that's what I know and think about them. So here are some practical things you can do to quit video games. So one of the most practical things to do to quit video games is actually doing different things. Like going outside with friends. What I did a lot is actually go to the gym. That's basically one of the biggest things that helped me quit video games, going to the gym. That's one of the biggest things that helped me quit video games, is actually going to the gym. One of the biggest things that also helped me is having good friends around. One of my best mates out of Norway, I know him for almost 10 years. I actually met him on a video game called CSGO on the map Inferno. So CSGO definitely has some sentimental value to me. I don't play it anymore, of course, but it still has sentimental value to me. But I met that guy and we both evolved from video gamers towards businessmen and good social life and a good gym life. And he helped me quit video games so much faster than I were to do it alone. So find that one guy that is gonna be with you from where you start to the end where you're both successful. That guy that's also on self-improvement. If you can't find that guy, then do it alone, because it's better to be alone than with guys that actually play video games. So we will go on that further in the video. So that's one of the practical things that helped me quit video games. Basically just doing everything that's not video game related. So I did meditation, I started reading, I started watching really good educational content on YouTube. And those are all things that provided me, helping me quit video games in the practical way. But the practical way is actually one of the smaller things in the way of quitting video games. There's a one way bigger underlying issue that we're gonna talk about next. But first off, I'm just a small conventional YouTuber who makes a lot of videos about how to have a better mental health, how to have a better physique, a better social life, more masculinity, and basically a better life overall. So if you would like to subscribe, put on the bell notification. It will be a win-win for both of us. And also, there's a link down below. When you click on it, you can get on a one-on-one coaching call for an hour with me and talk about basically everything that has to do with your mental health. You can ask me about anything. One thing that I'm specialized in and that can help you with is quit video games. But you can also just talk to me and vent to me. That one-on-one coaching call for an hour with me. And it's on an affordable price because I want to help you. So anyway, back to the video. Your mentality. And this is one of the biggest underlying issues on your addiction on video games. If there's one thing that I found out with myself and a lot of other people, when they play video games and when they're addicted, when they do the practical things, they keep relapsing. I had the same thing happen to me. I kept relapsing and playing video games in the night, doing the, the quote, one more game, I kept relapsing. And I know why. Because I was only doing the practical things. I wasn't fixing my mentality. So there's a problem in the world right now, especially with men. Men's mental health has never been worse. I know so many men that have a bad mental health. It's disturbing. Yesterday I was out in the city actually, and I found a man that literally drank himself completely wasted. And I helped him. I called an ambulance, I waited for him. He almost fell down in the water, so I stayed with him. I talked with the man. He literally told me, and he was about 40. He still lives with his mom. He has a folder job, so basically he has to go get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and put out the paper for everyone. And he was mega depressed. He didn't have any children. He didn't have anything going for himself other than, coping with drinking. That man was messed up. And those are a lot of people. And it's disturbing. So the one underlying thing to your video game addiction, or any addiction in any kind, is probably your mental health. You probably have a very bad mental health. You probably feel very depressed when you don't play video games. You're always looking out to playing video games and escaping from the real world. If something bad is happening in your life, or you're just not happy where you are right now. So if there's one thing that I want you to do, and this is really important, is fixing up your mental health. So here are some things that I did to fix my mental health. I started meditating. I started going outside in the morning. I started talking to my real friends, and these are my male, masculine friends. I didn't talk to any girls. Don't do that. They cannot really provide any value to you. Of course, your girl can provide value to you, but I won't recommend opening up to her or even crying with her, because she would have to become masculine, which means the relationship would not be polarized. Go to your male masculine friends, vent there and ask them for guidance, because they will probably make fun of you. They tell you to go to the gym or something, which is a really good thing, because that's the second part to mental health. Fix up your physical health. When you have a good physical body, your mental health will get stronger. And the third thing is fix up your hormonal health. And this one is probably even more important than physical and mental health together. Because if you have bad hormones, which a lot of people have because of the food they eat, because of the clothing they wear, because of the water they drink. Yeah, even your water is poisoned with a lot of estrogenics. And estrogenics are things that will cause estrogen in your body, which means you will actually get less testosterone and your hormones will be all over the place, which means your mental health will be worse. So basically how I fixed my mental health, I started meditating, going to the gym, doing the correct habits. I built a system. So what you need to do and actually quit video games mentally is when you have relapsed, be mad at yourself, but don't think everything goes away because you relapsed that one day. Because when you relapse that one day, that's just that one day. The next day you don't relapse. Be strong and be masculine about it. When you relapse and you notice yourself playing video games or something, just quit the game, do something productive, go outside or something. Do the easy habits first, easy good habits like reading, like meditating, like going outside. Then one of more medium things is going to the gym. Try to do that at least 2 times a week. Build up to 4 times to 6 times a week. And that will fill up a lot of your time, which means you have less time to actually think about video games. And one of the other things is get a better relationship with your father. I'm not talking about your real father, but I'm talking about God. God is a guidance. I think when you believe in God, and this happened with me too. I was massively atheist before this. But when I started believing in God, I actually started getting more guidance in my life. And I actually started getting the power and getting the belief that I could create video games. And talking about belief, you need to believe that you're not a gamer. Because belief says a whole lot about your habits. When you believe that you're the guy that's trying to quit video games, and someone asks you to play video games, you will probably relapse. But when you believe that you're not even a gamer, and when someone asks you, yeah, do you want to play video games? Yeah, I don't play video games. Who do you think is gonna play video games? The guy that says he's trying to quit, or the guy that says he doesn't play? The guy that's trying to quit is probably gonna relapse way faster. That's all in your mentality. You have to believe. Because when you believe, your systems and your habits will become way better, which means you don't even think about the video games, which means you fix up your dopamine levels, which is also really important. Fix up your dopamine levels. So how to fix up dopamine levels, get them higher? This has something to do with delaying instant gratification. Delaying instant gratification is one of the hardest things, but the best things to do. And this means delaying easy things in a non-scientific way. So delaying instant gratification basically means stop being on social media instantly. Stop doing easy things. Start doing the hard things, because your dopamine will go up because of that. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it, is a very true quote. When you do the hard work, so let's say going into a cold shower, going to the gym, doing something on your business, especially when you don't feel like it. That means the next time when you do feel like it or don't feel like it, it will be very easy to do the hard instead of the easy work. But when you do the easy things first and then the hard work, that means you will always have a struggle doing the hard work, which means you will relapse way more and you will stay addicted to the thing that you want to quit. Because doing hard work, especially when you don't feel like it, will first let your dopamine go down, then it will go above baseline, make a new baseline. When you do the easy things, dopamine will go up, go below baseline, and this is your new baseline. So that's really important, because when you start doing that, quitting video games is like literally a piece of cake, because you don't think about it anymore. Also, what's really important of fixing your mental health, this isn't a one-day progress. This is a lifelong journey, getting the best mental health. I'm still not on my best mental health, but it definitely improved way more than I thought it would improve. Also, what's really good about fixing your mental health, you get more discipline, which is another topic. Discipline is super important on this. Motivation is the wrong word. You don't need to be motivated to quit video games. You need to be disciplined to quit video games. Motivation is just an extra that happens some days. Because when I started quitting video games, I wasn't motivated for 90% of the time. Only 10% of the time I was motivated to quit video games. Remember why you quit video games, and that's the only way you will actually be able to quit video games. Remembering why. That's a big mental health thing. So fix up your mental health, man. It's really important. Be more masculine. Get a good girl. Get a good social life. You will fix up your mental health like for 40%. And then start reading. Start doing the hard things, especially when you don't feel like them. And you're basically fixing your mental health and quitting video games at the same time. And that's what we all want. So here are the things that can actually happen when you start quitting video games. You can get a lot of things in your head, you know, like you can feel bad. You can feel a little bit more depressed in the first few weeks. You can feel a little bit worse because you have to leave behind some people. You can feel a little bit worse because you're not getting the dopamine hits, which means you have to do other things. When you encounter some of those downsides, start doing different things. Fill up your day with different things. So what I did is I made an agenda on my phone. With iPhone it's really easy to make a graph and put in the things with the time. So like a timetable from school. So my day was always filled up, and I still do, by the way. My day is always filled up, which means I don't have any free time on a day. That caused me to relapse to video games, because I already had a thing planned on a day. And of course you can get away from that timetable, you know, when your mom asks you to do groceries, or when you have to do a certain meeting, or you have to go to school. You know, you can change your timetable up, but it's a general rule of thumb, which means you don't have free time on a day, which means you always know what to do instead of playing video games. So now let's get to a different part of quitting video games, and another part that's really hard. Leaving the friends behind. Because the friends that play video games, and I tried this myself, I tried to get them on self-improvement as well, but they only keep relapsing and they only keep playing video games, and they would drag you down like crabs in a bucket, you know, they're pulling you down. That's gonna happen to you. The saying, you're the person of the 5 people you go around with most, is a true saying. Because when you go around with 5 people that game, you're the 6th gamer. But when you go around with people that are all in business or all going to the gym, all on self-improvement, you're the 6th guy that's on self-improvement going to the gym. Also, what's really important on this saying, nowadays you can watch influencers that are on self-improvement and you become more like them. So watch 5 good influencers instead of the brainless things like Mr. Beast, like PewDiePie, and start watching influencers with highly educational content on the certain topics you want to become the best at. So this could be the gym, this could be self-improvement, this could be business. And you could learn from them, and actually you become more like them. You start becoming more like-minded because you're watching them and you're taking over their things. So how to leave these friends behind? What I did is I started talking less and less and less to them until I didn't even talk to them anymore. This was really hard, of course, because, you know, those were my friends and I genuinely thought we had a good connection. But those were the bad influences in my life that I had to cut out. I'd rather be alone than with 5 people that play video games. And this should be the same for you. Being alone is way better in your own thoughts than being with 5 people that would drag you down. And this is really hard, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate on this, but this is a true thing. So just a small recap. How to quit video games. You have to fix up your mental health. You have to do the practical things, you have to fill up your day, make a timetable so you don't have time for video games, make priorities the good habits and not the bad habits, create good systems, get a good believing system, so actually believe you're not even a gamer, believe that you're the athlete, believe that you're a self-improvement guy and not a video gamer, and that will help you a lot. Leave behind the bad influences of your life, and you will get basically zero interest in video games anymore. Also, why would you quit video games? Basically to fix up your life. You will fix up your mental health, you'll become your best self, which is the most important thing. You have to be the best in every human endeavor. You have to be your best self, because then you're the happiest self. You will get girls, you will get way more social life, you will get a better relationship with your parents, with your siblings, and you will just be a happier person overall. That's why you should quit video games. So this was a pretty long guide, of course, but this is a guide that I wanted to put out to actually help you quit video games. This is the way that I did it, with my story, with the way I did it, practical things I did, the mental things I did, and that's basically it. So do the hard work, be proud of yourself every day, and I will see you later.